Good morning. My name is Lisa Reju Kessler. I'm here at the Ecumenical Buddhist Society of Little Rock at our meditation center. And I welcome you this morning. Thank you so much for joining me. When I was thinking about a topic for this week, a friend of mine said, "Well, do something on letting go." I was like, wow, that's a great topic and a pretty expansive topic. So I was thinking about, kind of how to approach that in terms of letting go. And then, as you likely know, we heard yesterday of the death of Thich Nhat Hanh. And most people who follow Buddhism are very aware of who Thich Nhat Hanh is. I've certainly spoken of him many times on the Facebook Live. But one of the amazing things is that many people who, are not that familiar with Buddhism, people who don't have a meditation practice, many people are familiar with. They know his name. They know a little bit about who he is. Certainly he was a meditation teacher, but he was so much more than that. He wrote many wonderful books. He was on many live interviews, one of my favorite being one that Oprah Winfrey did with him. And he's pretty well-known social activist too, being friends with Martin Luther King and working for social justice back during the Vietnam War. I should mention, if you don't know, he is originally from Vietnam. So with all that said, I thought, well, certainly death is the ultimate letting go, and what a perfect topic for this week Facebook Live meditation. I was first introduced to Thai, which is the familiar way he is addressed, back many years ago when I read his book, The Heart of the Buddha, I believe. I think it's The Heart of the Buddha. Fabulous book that gives you a great overall perspective on what Buddhism is about. I still have that book. And then interestingly, right now I'm reading his most recent book, which is Zen and the Art of Saving the Planet, which I highly recommend that. The book's kind of organized by one of his students, Sister True Dedication. And there's some great videos out there on her discussing the book and on discussing where Thai's coming from as far as his perspective. He did quit teaching publicly in 2014 after he had a stroke, and a few years ago, he was allowed to move back to Vietnam because he requested being able to die there in his home country and in his original monastery. So with all that said, I'd just like to read a couple of things that he wrote for us to contemplate as we start our meditation. So let me pull those up. So in the email that was sent out by Plum Village, which is the center that he created the center he created in southern France after he was exiled from Vietnam. They sent out email, and here's something he wrote that Thai wrote that they included in that email. We are often sad and suffer a lot when things change, but change and impermanence have a positive side. Thanks to impermanence, everything is possible. Life itself is possible. If a grain of corn is not impermanent, it can never be transformed into a stalk of corn. If the stalk were not impermanent, it could never provide us with an ear of corn that we eat. If your daughter is not impermanent, she cannot grow up to become a woman. Then your grandchildren would never manifest. So instead of complaining about impermanence, we should say, warm welcome and long live impermanence. We should be happy. When we can see the miracle of impermanence, our sadness and suffering will pass. And so I thought that was a really beautiful thing that they wrote, or that they included in their email that Thich had written, and I read that before. And I would also like to just read one of my favorite poems that he wrote, that I think is just so striking when we consider impermanence. Thich has a book of poetry that's called Call Me by My True Names. And I have to admit, when I first bought that book, I thought the poems were beautiful, but I didn't really understand exactly what he meant by Call Me by My True Names. I do think I understand that now, and I think it's particularly relevant, to me at least, now that Ty's physical body is gone, but he continues to manifest with us in so many ways. So this poem is called Please Call Me by My True Names by Thich Nhat Hanh. Don't say that I will depart tomorrow. Even today, I am still arriving. Look deeply. Every second I am arriving. To be a bud on a spring branch, to be a tiny bird with still frail wings, learning to sing in my new nest, to be a caterpillar in the heart of a flower, to be a jewel hiding itself in a stone. I still arrive in order to laugh and to cry, to fear and to hope. The rhythm of my heart is the earth and death of all that is alive. I am the mayfly metamorphosing on the surface of the river. I am the bird that swoops down to swallow the mayfly. I am the frog swimming happily in the clear water of a pond. And I am the grass snake that silently feeds itself on the frog. I am the child in Uganda, all skin and bones, my legs as thin as bamboo sticks. And I am the arms merchant selling deadly weapons to Uganda. I am the 12-year-old child refugee on a small boat who throws herself into the ocean after being raped by a sea pirate. I am the pirate, my heart not yet capable of seeing and loving. I am a member of the Politburo with plenty of power in my hands, and I am the man who has to pay his debt in blood to my people dying slowly in a forced labor camp. My joy is like spring, so warm it makes flowers bloom all over the earth. My pain is like a river of tears, so vast it fills the 4 oceans. Please call me by my true name, so I can hear all my cries and my laughter at once. So I can see that my joy and pain are one. Please call me by my true name, so I can wake up, and so the door of my heart can be left open, the door of compassion. And so, of course, Thai shows us that we are all one, that we're what we think of as the positive and the negative. We are what we think of as the good and the bad. And so, since Thai is all of those things, as we are all of these things, even though our body may pass, well, we're still part of this great universe that we live in and that we die in. So let's prepare for our meditation. So I'm sitting on a cushion. You may be on a cushion on the floor. You may be seated in a chair. Or if it's more comfortable, you may even choose to lie down. Whatever position you choose, find yourself a comfortable posture. If you're sitting up, holding that posture upright with the ears over the shoulders, over the hips. Simply settling into your breath, perhaps noticing where you might be holding any tension, perhaps in the jaw, if that's true for you. You can simply part your lips, part your teeth just ever so slightly, and allow your teeth to stay parted just a fraction of the inch. As you do, shut your lips and breathe through your nose if that's possible for you. Noticing if there's any tension in the forehead or scalp. Breathing into that area and then simply allowing those muscles to relax as you allow the breath to leave your body. Noticing any tension in the shoulders, allowing shoulders to drop away from the ears, and the hands, the arms can simply drop away from the shoulders. Perhaps you may choose to place the palms of the hands on the upper part of the leg, or place your hands in a mudra such as the cosmic mudra and place that next to the lower abdomen just below the belly button. Allowing the abdomen to completely relax and scanning the body, noticing if there are any muscles at all you can relax just a little bit more. As we still hold this upright, strong position where the back is strong and the heart is open, ready to accept whatever arises. Just breathing in and breathing out. Eyes may be open or shut, whichever you prefer. But if your eyes are open, not really looking at anything, just having a soft gaze that connects you to your environment around you. And as we notice how our body connects to the cushions or the chair, how that connects to the floor connects to the ground, and the ground connects us to every other being on the earth. As we simply just follow the breath in and out, remaining still in this comfortable position as our physical body remains still. Well, that might assist you just a bit in stilling the mind, allowing thoughts to merely come and go with no emotional attachment. Considering again the impermanence of the thoughts and also the impermanence of the body. Knowing that all things change, and if you're really struggling with some difficult thoughts or emotions, knowing that those too will pass. And as we continue to sit together, perhaps we can contemplate once again letting go of the thoughts, letting go of expectations we place on ourselves that may not be realistic or healthy, letting go of all the different ways that we kind of put ourselves into categories, put other people into categories, letting go of the comparisons we make that may make us feel we are better than others or may make us feel bad about ourselves. Remembering that Thai has taught us that really there's no separation between us and others. There is no other. And so as we consider that, I'd just like to read that poem one more time as you can continue to meditate on letting go and what letting go means to you. And consider that when Thai named this poem, "Please Call Me by My True Names," the way I interpret that is he saying, I am all of these things. I mean, he is or was Thai, the body that he inhabited, but he continues to be all of these other things, just as we continue to be all of these things. Don't say that I will depart tomorrow. Even today, I am still arriving. Look deeply. Every second I am arriving to be a bud on a spring branch, to be a tiny bird with still fragile wings, learning to sing in my new nest, to be a caterpillar in the heart of a flower, to be a jewel hiding itself in a stone. I still arrive in order to laugh and cry, to fear and to hope. The rhythm of my heart is the birth and death of all that is alive. I am the mayfly metamorphosing on the surface of the river. I am the bird that swoops down to swallow the mayfly. I am the frog swimming happily in the clear water of a pond, and I am the grass snake that silently feeds itself on the frog. I am the child in Uganda, all skin and bones, my legs as thin as bamboo sticks, and I am the arms merchant selling deadly weapons to Uganda. I am the 12-year-old girl, refugee on a small boat, who throws herself into the ocean after being raped by a sea pirate. I am the pirate, my heart not yet capable of seeing and loving. I am a member of the Politburo with plenty of power in my hands. I am the man who has to pay his debt in blood to my people dying slowly in a forced labor camp. My joy is like spring, so warm. It makes flowers bloom all over the earth. My pain is like a river of tears, so vast it fills the 4 oceans. Please call me by my true name, so I can hear all my cries and my laughter at once, so I can see that my joy and pain are one. Please call me by my true name, so I can wake up, and so the door of my heart can be left open, the door of compassion.